The next thing is probably the thing I'm most passionate about after perhaps talent and the people that work for me, and that's product. There's really one word that sums up how we do product at Moo, or how we look at it, and it's a bit of a silly word again, but it's remarkable. But if you think about it enough, I guess it makes sort of sense. Doing something remarkable is doing something worth talking about. If you think about what your product is or what your marketing is, if you make it worth talking about, people will talk about it, and they'll spread the word, and they'll be your marketing department for you. I guess in a sense, remarkable products sort of sell themselves. Before I even came up here, people were already talking about the company, and the great thing about the products we sell is they're inherently viral. People, pass them on. We talk about word of card as much as we talk about word of mouth. But I want to talk about something really boring first in terms of product. I'm just going to have another sip of water. The very first thing that I remember trying to make remarkable at Moo, other than the product itself, was our confirmation email. Confirmation emails are the most boring emails you could ever conceive of writing. And I remember our developer, Dan, said, "Oh, Richard, I've got this confirmation email that when someone orders it, you've got to send them an email. Shall I just type it up?" I think, don't let your lead developer write your confirmation email. You're going to get this terrible, awful thing. So I wrote it, and I wanted to give it some personality. So I made up a little character called Little Moo, who's almost sort of anthropomorphic. Kind of you get a sense it's this. People don't know whether it's a boy or a girl. There's been lots of debates, but this little software, this little robot that manages your order, and it says, "I'm Little Moo, the little piece of software that will be managing your order with us. It will shortly be sent to Big Moo, our print machine, who will print it for you in the next few days and let you know when it's done." And it goes on and on. And what was amazing about this Little Moo became this sort of kind of character, this mascot for the business, and has been discussed on forums and blogs, and has a fan club, and it's people absolutely love it. Little Moo has actually made apologies on behalf of the company. We once had a massive error in the warehouse, and we sell a sticker product that comes in a little booklet, and you can choose the colour that you want it to be. Pink and green and so on, and for a whole month we printed blue ones by mistake, and no one told us. So the customers, even though they might have requested a green or a blue one or a pink one, they got a blue one. So Little Moo wrote an apology letter to all of those customers, and even though we'd done something massively wrong, Little Moo managed to get us out of the problem. It was a brilliant moment. And if you search Little Moo, there'll be all kinds of stuff online about Little Moo. Then into the product itself. Here's another tiny little touch that we tried to make remarkable. This is the operational top card that goes on some of our mini card products. It was designed in the warehouse to be a functional piece of data that you could scan, and you could see where orders were going if you were a warehouse person, so if you were working at one of the terminals and scanning orders out. We decided to make it look like a luggage tag from an airport. The original ones were green, and they look really have changed so much since then. And it's the smallest, tiniest little thing, but every time people photographed their cards, they'd photograph this little weird luggage tag. It was totally remarkable. We got loads of press about it, and it was in all the photos. And people said, "Why does it have that thing? Why? It's just a little business card. Why does it have it?" I think by thinking about all these little details, we got noticed, we got mentioned, and it kind of snowballed. We talk about the experience that we give our customers a lot, and it's all about those tiny little details that make all the difference for us as a company. This is probably my favourite example. This is the stupidest thing we've done, other than calling the original business pleasure cards. But we had a product designer called Will Rowe, who now runs a great business called Protein. And when he was producing some packaging for our postcards, he made a little sticker in the office that said "Yay" on it. He just cut it out, did it on the printer. And he was like, "Hey, Richard, I've made this thing. Yay, yay." I was like, "Hey, that's really funny. Let's actually make that." We produce tens of millions of these little stickers now today, and we use it to adhere a lot of our packaging. And the customers absolutely love them. They request them. We use them at our parties. It was this sort of infectious enthusiasm that kind of became part of our brand as well. So we kept it up, and it was a tiny little stupid detail that got us noticed, and that I guess encouraged people to check us out. A tiny little detail, but people remarked about it, people talked about it. So marketing, next, a very important part of our business, and when I talk about marketing, I'm not really talking about TV campaigns, that kind of marketing, because we're still a tiny business. We've never done anything on TV. I doubt that many of you have. I think when you're small, everything is marketing. Your marketing, your product is marketing, your website's marketing. And I think particularly today in the world of social media, it's a conversation. It's not a speech directed at people. It's actually a two-way conversation. It's not about shouting messages at your customers. It's really about chatting with them, conversing with them, like a human being, like a real person. This is our we've done lots of stupid things, it's crazy. This is our stupid Twitter account. It's called Overheard at Moo, partly because we couldn't get the @Moo domain name because someone else had taken it. But it was actually about funny stuff we said in the office. So I gave an account to everyone in the office, and if they heard someone say stupid, like the many things I've said today, they were allowed to write it down. So it was the stupid crap people said in the office, got onto Overheard at Moo. If you search back in the history on this account, you'll find just stuff people were saying in the drunk things they'd say in the evening. Overheard at Moo, there you go, online, live for all of our readers. And it really wasn't about marketing messages at all. It was about us showing people what the company was about and what the people in the company were about. And we kind of started a conversation, and we have about 35,000 people who follow us today on it. Occasionally we throw in we've got a sale on 30% off, but it's not really about marketing, it's about us. But it is marketing, it's about the brand, it's about the business. The next is about free, and at Moo very early on, marketing was a 4-letter word, but it was free, not anything else. We gave away 100,000 of our little mini cards through a partner, Flickr, back in 2006, which was really, I'll talk about them a bit more later, but it was really one of the catalysts to us going global as a business and expanding internationally. And those first, I guess it was 10,000 customers got 10 cards each. It was those customers that were critical to our success. They spread the word, they bought the product, they took photos of it, they told everyone they knew about it. And I continue to meet people today who were amongst those first 10,000 sort of very, very hyper early adopters. And part of that is that because your customers are your marketing, I've said that already, they do it for free. I mean, why not help them? This is just one of thousands and thousands. I think we have 13,000 members of our Flickr photo group, people who've just taken really nice pictures of their cards and things that they've done with them. I think the better your product, the stronger the relationship you have with your customers, the more they'll promote you. And I think those ties are incredibly important to foster. Taking that to a really granular level, this is one of the best pieces of marketing we ever did as a company. We threw a party. We did a piss-up, basically. In 2007, we launched a sticker product. This is Exmouth Market. This is, I think it was the Ambassador bar and restaurant. We do this every year now, but we didn't think it was marketing back then. We invited probably about 100 people. 200 people came. The ambassador ran out of beer and all drinks that evening. They actually went across the road on the right-hand side to the off-license, and they were buying beer and wine and taking it back in and reselling it for twice the price on the evening. We eventually filled this entire street and pedestrianised it for the evening, and it was an amazing event. And what's amazing about this is parties scale. This is our 2011 party. We had 1,000 people come to it. We didn't sell out of beer. We ordered, I think, 5,000 beers or 10,000 beers or something like that. The amazing thing about this is you get to meet your customers, you get to meet your employees, members of family. We did a proper big knees up. I think if you're a friendly brand, people want to be your friend and they'll come to your party and they'll become your customers and they'll talk about you. Again, more remarkable stuff. We did it as a 5th birthday party, so we had an ice cream van, we had a bouncy castle, we had giant Jenga, Connect 4. It was absolutely brilliant, and you must all come next year. We usually do it in a car park in Shoreditch. So check our website for more details. And the next thing is just about brand, and I'll tell you the story about how we got the Moo domain name. I think being a brand is absolutely critical. The domain name is very important to us today. About 40% of our new customers come through referral, come directly. They've heard about the brand. They're literally typing it directly into the browser. Moo.com was owned by a chap called David Blattner, who lives in Seattle, who's written numerous books on design and other things. And I saw that he owned this domain name and that he wasn't using it for a business. He was just using it for himself to blog and do other things. So I called David. I think we had a Skype conversation. And David wanted a lot of money for the website, for the domain name. This was back in 2006. And let's call it 100 clams. It wasn't quite 100 clams. It was more like 100 lobsters. But we'll call it 100 clams for now. So David said, I want 100 clams. And we were like, oh, that's a lot of money, 100 clams. But what I did was I said, David, I'll pay you 25 clams today. And if I build a great business, I'll be able to pay you the other 75 clams in 3 or 4 years' time. I can't believe I'm talking about clams, but I am talking about clams. So he agreed. So basically, I did a hire purchase. I put 25% down up front. We built the company over 3 years. and I paid him 5% interest on the difference, as if he had the rest of the clams in the bank, earning cockles, whatever. It was an amazing arrangement. We were only able to get this because of that particular arrangement. It worked extremely well for both of us. David earned all the interest. My learnings after this were, don't do the deal in dollars, because we set the deal in dollars and the pound and dollar went all over the shop over that period of time. Also, we agreed it at 5%, not percentage over LIBOR, and bank interest went all crazy over that time as well. But in all, it was a fantastic arrangement and worked out extremely well for us. So we essentially bought a brand for a quarter of the price, built our company on that brand, and then actually paid the difference. So to conclude, I'm just going to show some simple examples of things that we did to kind of set the business up for a kind of global reach, global expansion. Some of the specific things that we did. This was our office in 2006, or rather this interconnected series of offices. Where you see design, that was where our offices were on Rosebery Avenue in Clerkenwell. We had a warehouse about 25 metres away where we did all of our packing, where that little A is on the red dot. Our printer was opposite. We had all of our printing outsourced to a great company called First Bite. And we were right next to Mount Pleasant, the sorting office for the Royal Mail, which is one of the 3, I think, largest of its kind in the UK. What was great about this is we recognised that you could do a global printing business from absolutely anywhere. London was a perfect place to do it. Even though we had orders from 100 countries in our first week, they all just went on British Airways flights out the next morning. It was an absolutely fantastic arrangement. We used to carry bags of print at 5 o'clock to make sure that they got into the Royal Mail just in time. We have trucks that come and pick it up now. We don't carry it by hand anymore. But being based in London, being based in Clerkenwell, and leveraging things like the Royal Mail, which was absolutely fantastic. It's a 300 or 400 year old organisation with all these amazing ties into other countries. It was incredible to lean on them, and they were a great help to us. And what was funny was everyone thought we were a US business. We were a website. People don't think where they're buying from, particularly when it's print. They just assume it's local. We got loads of comments from Americans telling us that we'd spelt our website wrongly, particularly when it came to colour and stuff like that, which is obviously spelled differently in the US.